How you doing, fight fans? This is Boxing Knowledge coming at you once again after a well over year hiatus. I am back. That's right. Could not stay away for too long. I do not recall the last time I uploaded a video, but I know I had short hair, and look, now I have long hair. How about that? So it's been that long. I'm pretty sure I could go into my YouTube account and see when the last uploaded video was, but I don't feel like doing that. In any case, it feels good to be back. Couldn't stay away for too long, and I just wanted to talk about some upcoming fights. I'm going to make two videos. This one is going to be my prediction of Amir Khan versus Danny Garcia. That junior welterweight bout that's going to happen, I believe, sometime this week, if I'm not mistaken. And I want to talk about the up-and-coming light heavyweight fight against Jean Pascal and Tavares Cloud. Very interesting matchup there as well. So you know what? I'm don't know what it is, but I've been watching film on Danny Garcia pretty much all day today, and been brushing up on Amir Khan as well. Didn't have to do too much about Amir Khan because obviously I've seen a lot of his fights. He's a major star, and it's going to be a tough fight for both guys. You know, I wanted to start off by saying that a lot of people are underestimating Danny Garcia. They're saying, who has Danny Garcia fought? Who is Danny Garcia? Danny Garcia has been boxing since he was 10 years old. So, boxing is second nature to him. All right. His father was a boxer as well, so he comes from a boxing family tradition. You know, Danny Garcia has fought guys like Kendall Holt and more recently Eric Morales. He's been brought up the right way. I think he needs to develop his jab a little bit more. He throws a lot of power punches, short, accurate punches. He's young, he's hungry, he doesn't tire. But as mentioned previously, boxing is second nature to this guy. He's got a pretty decent amateur pedigree and was taken to a boxing gym when he was 10 years old. He's your typical young, hungry, up-and-coming fighter, and just so happens to be a titleist. He looked decent against Eric Morales, even though it's very difficult to look good against him. But in my opinion, he did more than enough to convincingly beat Eric Morales, even though some might argue against that. I have no qualms or queries about that. But in my opinion, Danny Garcia did more than enough to win that fight convincingly. I think the scorecards were I think the fight was closer, you know, than the 118, 117 margins that they had. It was slightly closer, but in any case, Danny Garcia is young, hungry, and Eric Morales was way past his prime when those two got together. Now let's break this down stylistically. You see, Amir Khan's definitely no Eric Morales. Amir Khan moves a lot. He's a volume puncher, okay? And when you compare against Eric Morales, he's young and he's strong and he's very, very fast. A lot of people underestimate the speed of Amir Khan, but he's very fast. Now, something I don't know if anyone else has noticed, but Amir Khan has a tendency to tire in the later rounds. You know, it's because all that movement, all that speed. I mean, no one can keep that up for 12 rounds usually. Amir Khan is no exception. Danny Garcia's style is he conserves energy, and he doesn't get tired, and he throws these hooks, and he missed quite a lot with especially with the left hook and these power punches thrown at Eric Morales. But I have a very legitimate argument to justify his inaccuracy, especially in the earlier rounds against Eric Morales. We're talking this was his first shot at a world title. He was very nervous, to say the least, and he was in there with a legend. Pretty sure that was ever so lingering in his mind that he was, in front of a legend like Eric Morales. Danny Garcia's confidence, I guarantee, has been boosted by his decent performance against Eric El Terrible Morales. He's going to go in there, against Amir Khan, and it's going to be a lot harder for Amir Khan than what he thinks. I'm hoping Freddie Roach is telling Amir, don't underestimate this guy. He's young, he's hungry, and he can hurt you. I believe Danny Garcia has about 14 KOs in 22 or 23 fights. I'm really not going to go into Wikipedia right now to look at his record, but I'm pretty sure that's fairly accurate. In other words, he's not a devastating power puncher, but he does have power nonetheless. He does have power. Picks his spots, conserves his energy. You know what? I like Danny Garcia in this fight. Something within me tells me, and this is not just a hunch. I'm using my boxing brain here. I'm using my boxing IQ here. I just think that Danny Garcia can outlast Amir Khan. I think Danny's going to come on strong in the later rounds when Amir begins to tire. Everybody knows Amir Khan's chin is suspect. He showed a lot of heart against Marcos Maidana. Don't take anything. Oh, and he beat Lamont Peterson convincingly, in my opinion. That's a whole nother ball of wax. That's a whole nother animal. I don't want to get into that, but as far as I'm concerned, Amir Khan has only lost one time, and that is against Brady's Prescott. Okay, so earlier in his career, or when he was being brought up. It's Danny Garcia's time, I think. I'm not saying Amir Khan's on a downslope, but it's just something about Danny that just tells me he's going to be a handful. If he winds up losing this fight, which I do not believe he will, it's going to be close. If I was a betting man, I'd stay away from this one because it's going to be a close fight, regardless of who wins. Danny Garcia is not to be underestimated. He came out of nowhere for most people, but I've been following his career for the last 2 years. He's a very legitimate contender, and he also happens to be a titleist right now. So watch out. Actually, I'm not going to predict whether it's going to be a KO, even though that's in my opinion, a possibility. Danny's got short, accurate power punches, so he can maybe coax Amir Khan into running into something, even though Amir Khan's very intelligent. But I would not be surprised if Danny Garcia KO'd Amir Khan, maybe hurt him, in the middle rounds and just take him out and get him out of there. He could win by decision. I'm not going to be specific on how he's going to win. I just have a feeling, not just a feeling, but because of the styles, I think that Danny Garcia is going to take this one. So I'm choosing an upset to come out of retirement from posting up these videos. How about that? I'm not going to jump on the Amir Khan train. I'm just not going to do it. I think Danny's going to take it. It's his time, and he's hungry, and he's undefeated. He's got that aura of invincibility we're talking here. So we'll see. All right, let's get to Tavares Cloud, the IBF light heavyweight champion, against Jean Pascal. Guys, in my opinion, I think this is going to be a clear victory for Jean Pascal. I think Jean's actually going to KO him. I think, and I'm gonna say middle to late rounds, because I think eventually when Tavares Cloud realizes the world-class caliber of Jean Pascal and how intelligent he is, and the fact that Jean Pascal just pretty much got off of fighting 24 rounds with one of the greatest fighters in history, Bernard Hopkins, and they were close. They were relatively close fights. I mean, I think Bernard beat him both times. He got a gift draw the first time around, but still, Jean Pascal, when you're in there for 24 rounds with Bernard Hopkins, you're going to learn. He's going to elevate your game. It's that simple. Jean Pascal is very, very intelligent, and in my opinion, he is going to not dominate this fight. I think they're going to feel each other out for the first few rounds. But with his boxing intelligence, his power punching, and his, I have to just say, his ring generalship. Jean Pascal is very intelligent. I didn't give him a chance when he fought Chad Dawson. I was very surprised of how he was able to impose his will on Dawson, and eventually, well, the fight got stopped on cuts, I think. But he impressed me. I thought Dawson was going to give him a boxing clinic, but Jean Pascal proved to be too intelligent and was able to, as previously mentioned, impose his will. So there you have it. I'm going to choose Jean Pascal. I'm going to choose Jean Pascal by KO. Um, that's also a bold prediction, but I mean that's how I see the fight going on. I think Jean Pascal is going to overpower Tavares Cloud. Tavares Cloud did not look good against Gabriel Campillo. I'm pretty sure he's heard the worldwide criticism over his split decision win over Gabriel Campillo. I think Gabriel did enough to win that fight, even though he got hurt early, but he controlled most of the fight, especially later on, with his intelligence and his technical ability. So eventually I think that Jean Pascal in this fight will impose his will on Tavares Cloud. So that's it, guys. There you have it. I'm going to post another video about all these fights that I've been missing and just my opinion on certain fights. It's amazing how I've been gone for so long, but hey, I never stopped watching boxing, and I never stopped, giving my opinions on who I felt was going to win prior to these bouts. So there you have it, guys. Got Jean Pascal by KO. Got Danny Garcia by KO. Very bold predictions. I'm just gonna go on a whim here and just do it. So it feels good to be back, and don't forget, guys, that boxing, it's intelligence. See you guys.